Razer's new Blade gaming laptop is a huge improvement over last year's model. The first thing you'll notice is that the screen is almost bezel-less. Gone are those chunky borders that the last model had that really made it look dated. And Razer also upgraded from a 14-inch monitor to 15.6-inch displays. And they're available in 1080p, 60Hz, 1080p, 144Hz, and a 4K touchscreen model. And for the first time, Razer says they're also going to be calibrating the screens as they're leaving the factory. The new Blade has a sleeker case design as well. Instead of rounded edges, they're more squared off. That actually allows Razer to fit in more hardware, so the battery is slightly bigger than before. Because of the bigger screen, this laptop is about a quarter pound heavier than last year's model, but it's a pretty decent trade-off. It doesn't feel noticeably different to me, and it's also still pretty lightweight. It's going to be around 4.3 pounds. Under the hood, it's powered by an Intel i7 8th generation chip, and it's also got NVIDIA graphics. You can choose from either GTX 1060 or 1070 Max-Q models. There's also a game mode that'll let you overclock those GPU speeds a little because Max-Q cards are actually clocked a bit lower than standard models. Storage and memory are also upgradable, so you can always expand those down the line if you need to. To cram in all that hardware, Razer also developed a new vapor chamber cooler, which covers the CPU, GPU, and other components that get hot. Basically allowed them to slightly slim down the computer too, and really that's a good thing because all of these products run hot. You'll definitely want something for those NVIDIA GPUs. The new Razer Blade will be available on May 22nd starting at $1899. And if you're interested in external GPUs, there's also the new Razer Core X. Like the last few models, it'll let you plug in a standard desktop-sized GPU into any laptop that has a Thunderbolt 3 connection. The big difference with this model is that it's just $299. The Razer Core 2, their slightly more advanced model, is $499, and that's still a pretty big cost, because remember, you'll still have to buy a GPU to go alongside these things. The case itself is basically a port to plug in your GPU, and it also has a standard PC power supply as well. And that power supply, it's 500 watts, so it's actually big enough to support both the video card and also power a USB-C laptop. The cool thing about this is that it's not just limited to Razer's machines. It'll work with pretty much any Windows laptop that has a Thunderbolt 3 connection. And it'll also work with Macs that have AMD video cards and Thunderbolt 3. These docks are really useful for people who want slim laptops like the Razer Stealth, but also want to have a decent amount of gaming power when they get home. Razer also points out that it's not just for gaming. People in production environments who use GPUs for encoding tasks also really like these external docks. At $299, the Razer Core X is still pretty expensive, and you'll have to add another $300 to $500 or even more if you want a really powerful graphics card. It's definitely something meant for a pretty limited market, but you know, if you really want to have that thin laptop and you want to have decent gaming power, it's still a really good option.